Kamisaki Kamisaraki, RainingCardGames Sutik Aikoyawa. And welcome back to another video. This one is going to be fun. I haven't touched this deck in a while, although if you've been paying attention to any of my videos, occasionally, like say if you looked at the decks I have in Master Duel or anywhere, you might see sometimes a deck that's titled By the Blood of My Ancestors. We're playing Earthbound Immortal today. Specifically because, you know, I've always wanted to find a way to play Supe Duskwalker and as well as Dawnwalker Ascator. Both of these cards, love the artwork. Absolutely phenomenal. Actually, if there's anything I would really like to cosplay as Dawnwalker, that would actually be pretty cool. For also those of you who don't know, I am Aymara and Quechua by birth from my grandmother and my grandfather and my mother. So it's not every day that, you know, you get to see something that is literally your tribe, your people represented in an actual deck. So yeah, I figured, you know what, the artwork is cool, the lore behind the cards is literally part of my culture. So why not actually try to physically play this? Well, not physically. Maybe, actually, I might, depending on how it goes on the actual online duels. But see how it plays out. And, you know, it's kind of like if I were French, I would be playing the Infernal cards, parce que tous les cartes sont françaises. Et je manque le Charlemagne parle l'anglais. No, l'anglais, pas l'anglais. Le français très bien. Anyway, I can speak a little bit of French too. But anyway, regardless, before we go ahead and take a look at the deck of my ancestors, if you would be so kind as to like, comment, and subscribe. Now, let's go ahead and log on to Yugioh Pro, take a look at my take on Earthbound Immortal. Granted, I'm not going to be doing the commentary in my native language of Aymara or Quechua. I can speak a little bit of both, but not fluently. Behold the deck of my ancestors. Anyway, let's actually take a little bit of a look at the deck. So, Earthbound Immortal. We are running a singular Earthbound Immortal. We are running Akapu. This is the big 3k beater. Also really helps going second, dealing damage if I do need to clear out monster, but realistically, I'm going to be direct attacking with him for game because I have the Greater Linewalker. Whenever I normal summon an Earthbound Immortal, my opponent's life points become 3,000. Guess what? He's 3,000 as long as there's a field spell, can attack directly. Also, Earthbound Immortals will die if there's not a field spell on the field, so that does come into play a little bit. So yeah, easy kind of OTK with these two combined. And then we have a lot of synchro plays to enable stuff like Greater Linewalker to special summon him, so we don't have to worry about tribute summoning multiple times. If I control a synchro monster and a synchro monster in the graveyard, can special summon him, he adds an Earthbound Immortal. We have Ascator Dawnwalker, great card. I can just discard a card, special summon him, and a Fire and Ascator, so that's a free level 8 synchro right there. And you'll see we have a lot of great level 8 synchros that we can take advantage of in the extra deck. In terms of the other special summon, we have Supe Duskwalker. Oh, such beautiful artwork. Also really cool, Supe is also the god of death. So, anyway, the same effect, although instead of level 8, level 6 with Supe and the actual Duskwalker herself. We do have 2 Malicious. This is just free special summoning. Get us a 6. We can make a Synchro 6 and a regular 6, so we can go into the Ultima Zolkin line. So that's pretty cool. We have Soul Eating Overraptor, so that way we cannot add a dinosaur, but we can actually dump Carbonetin, so that we can special summon Labradorite Dragon, so that's another line that we can get to Ultima Zolkin. In terms of synchro good stuff, we have Revolution Synchron, we have the Destrudo, we have Jet, and we have O-Line. And then, of course, we have the tuning, so we can search out some of our Synchron tuners. Triple Ash, generically good. And then 3 of the field spout, Earthbound Geoglyph. Whenever we tribute summon an Earthbound, or not, sorry, tribute summon an Earthbound, whenever we synchro summon, we can add a spell trap that is an Earthbound trap. Specifically, we're adding Ultimate Earthbound Immortal. This is basically whenever we control a face-up Earthbound Immortal, target a face-up monster, destroy it. Gives us a little bit of interaction if we're going first. Ideally, though, we want to just go punch going second really hard. But it has a decent first turn setup because we can have a good synchro line of plays. We have Dark Spirits Mastery. We don't pay attention to the Destiny board effect. We're just using this to get to our Greater Linewalker. Also, it does help set up the graveyard by discarding a card, so we can pitch stuff like Destiny Hero Malicious or anything else like a Carbonet if we happen to draw it. Triple Fossil Egg to get us over Raptor. The 1 Dragon Ravine, so we can dump our Destrudo and Terraforming. Now, in terms of the Synchro lineup, really great. We have Stardust Charge Warrior. This is just a way to draw deeper into the deck if we need to, because it's a 6. Coral Dragon, same concept, however, if it's sent to the graveyard, so if we're using this to go into our Ultimate Zolkin line, it can dig us a little deeper whilst getting us Ultimate Zolkin, which if we set, we have access to a whole bunch of 8-star synchros. Realistically, though, we're going for the Crystal Wing. In terms of 7s, Fairy Dragon is great with the field spell section of the deck, and then Shooting Riser helps manipulate levels so we can still reach that Ultimate Zolkin line. And we also do have the Moon Dragon Kila, so we have the Sun Dragon and the Moon Dragon. These will have an ongoing effect. So Sun Dragon Inti, it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy the monster that destroyed it, inflict damage, and during the standby phase, the next turn after it was destroyed, I can special summon a Kila that's in the graveyard. So these kind of, the sun rises, the sun sets, the moon rises, the moon sets. They kind of go back and forth, but it does take a little bit of setup for that lock to actually happen. So realistically, it's probably not going to be the case. But Moon Dragon Kila, funnily enough, can help us also go into Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, or we can just use Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Those are two options. Ravenous Crocodile Arcthes is interesting. It's a 9-star that we can make pretty easily in the deck. It also draws based on the number of monsters used for Synchro Summon. Usually it's only 1, but it's helpful to draw up. And then we have Revolution Synchron in the grave. We can special summon, go up into Barone, or use other ways to go into Barone. Or we can just keep this on the field, discard 2, pop 1, a little bit of a neg, but it is still interaction with our opponent. We also have Satellite Warrior as a big blowout going second. And yeah, pretty solid extra deck. And then basic generic side deck, the only fun thing that we're really, fun for me at least, is Gravity Collapse. If we've already set up our board, we can send something like an Ultimate Zolkin, just shut down our opponent's turns because it's a counter trap. So that's a fun little card that we can actually kind of tech into this deck since it's so synchro reliant. But all in all, I think it's cool. And if anything, the artwork on these cards is absolutely beautiful. So at least even if we don't win everything, we're still going to be showcasing something amazing. So let's actually go ahead and see how the deck performs. Alrighty, so for game number 1, we get to go first. We're popping up with the Supe Duskwalker. We are able to discard the Carbonet and special summon a Labradorite Dragon, go up into a Charge Warrior to draw 1 extra card. We do get hit by a Droll and Lockberg, not great, but at least we can still try to go for the Ultimate Zolkin, but we get hit by an Infinite Impermanence. That does suck. We can still at least try for a little bit more. We go for the Daywalker line, and then we can at least get set up for later. We go into a Barone, and we just make a Stardust for a safe measure, and we're ready to face down Centurion. We have the Barone to contest at least with the Quick Pay, the Emblema Oath, and then they normal summon out their Premier, and yeah, I probably should have held off on my negate. So now we're just kind of sitting on a potential interaction point with Stardust. However, I don't imagine that they are going to be destroying anything on my field at any time soon, at least. And lo and behold, SP Little Knight hits the field, deals with my Barone the Fleur, but they can't out at least the rest of my board, so I just kind of have to hope for the best. Terraforming is not bad. We set it, and then we go and try to activate the effect of Ultimate Zolkin. Druid's Worm hits the field, they banish my Line Walker, but we were at least able to get out our Crystal Winged Synchro Dragon, where they bring out the Chaos Angel, and then trying to deal with my Crystal Wing. I at least can negate something, but realistically, yeah, this is not great. They deal with my Stardust Dragon, I can get to a Dragon Ravine, but now I'm just sitting on a dead Ultimate Zolkin with a protection only from a Stardust Dragon, but the SP Little Knight checks no matter what I do, any of my monster's effects. It's kind of frustrating, but yeah, the Centurion Primera hits the field once again, popping off. I have no points of interaction to basically let them search away. They summon out the Crimson Dragon, and this also allows them to climb up. They get the Bisfield Dissipator out on the field, and yeah, it's all over. I didn't stand a chance. Game number 2, we are going up against Raid Raptors with some of the newer support, so this will be interesting. They activate the Swallow's Nest, which I am going to go ahead and ash to prevent them from getting extra resources from the deck. They use the Phantom Knights XCs to go up into the brand new Raid Raptor Brave Strix, getting them access to combo lines with their rank up magics. Yeah, I am now exceedingly worried. Once they bring out the Arsenal Falcon, they can special summon from the deck, getting out a Noir Lanius. And then now I have no points of interaction for the Wise Strix. They bring out an Ultimate Falcon after linking up into the Wise Strix, so now I have to deal with A towers. They go up into regular Force Strix, getting that search off, and then using the Mimicry Lanius under the graveyard to banish so they can add a Raid Raptor Roost. They special summon out the Strangle Lanius, and then they go up into another Force Strix. Sheesh! This is tough. And then also do notice in their hand they do have a Booster Strix, which is fun little interaction to deal with. They go ahead and they set the Raid Raptors new rank up magic card. So I try to play through the best of my ability, seeing what I can try to bait out using my Dustwalker. I go up into the Coral Dragon and then also use my search off of my Field Spell. I go into the Ravenous Crocodragon to hopefully see bait out some interaction from my opponent, and they go into the brand new Raid Raptor Rising Rebellion Falcon. This gigantic towers nukes my field. It's okay, it's okay. We just move on to our next game. So we're going first, luckily. We use the effect of our Daywalker to bring out the Fire Ant Escator, and we can use special summon out the Jet Synchron. We go up into a Stardust Charge Warrior, draw a little bit, get into our Supe Dustlocker line so we can at least have some extension. We have Ravenous Crocodragon on the field. We go up into our Baron de Fleur, insulating our plays if need be. Activating Line Walker, we can add our Kakapekapu for later. We search out a Oviraptor, which we can normal summon, by the way, and we can send our Carbonet in, and then we can go ahead and just still keep on interacting. They bring out and reveal that they are playing Red Dragon Archfiend. Luckily, we are able to pop and short, negating them from having anything to synchro with, at least in the future. They summon out the normal summon the Red Sprinter, which I negate. Hopefully that will stop them from getting any plays offhand. They summon out the Crimson Resonator, and then they bring out Synchron Resonator, but luckily they don't have any follow-up until they activate on their turn Synchro Call, which allows them to go into a Red Rising Dragon. I've already used my Baron negate, but they still surrender as they aren't able to follow up and push through my board, and I definitely have lethal on the Crackback. Alright, game number 4, we are going to go ahead and start off by special summoning out our Duskwalker and our Supe, discarding the O-Line. Great interaction there, because I also get that O-Line token on the field. We normal summon the Soul Eating Overwrapper, dumping our Carbonetta so we can get out our Labradite Dragon, going off into Ultimate Zolkin, setting our Dragon Ravine so we can bring out a Crystal Wing, insulating our plays. We activate the Dragon Ravine, pitching the Revolution Synchron, dumping the Destrudo, and that way we can special summon the Destrudo out. We can go up into an Ancient Fairy Dragon, destroying all the field spells that we have on the field, gaining 1,000, and going into our Earthbound Geoglyph. We can then bring out the Revolution Synchron, then we can go into Excel Stardust, which means we can then extend, bring back the O-Line, go up into Baron de Fleur, special summon the Line Walker. Line Walker effect will then trigger off, getting us a Kakapakapu. We can set the ultimate Earthbound Immortal, and now we can go ahead and activate, make sure it's all safe on our play, so that way on the following turn we can normal summon Kakapakapu and push through for lethal. We are playing up against the new White Aura support, so basically it's Fish, Synchro, Goatee, White Aura, all that good stuff. We go ahead and negate their play so that way they at least won't have anything. They normal summon around with the Goatee and then use the Abyss Keeper, and they bring out Beautiful Princess, where they're going to then use Lifeless Fish, dump down the Pisces Moonlight of the Goatee, and they're going to bounce away my Crystal Wing, banishing him, but luckily they don't have any crackback. They, however, special summon out the Shift the Fairy of the Goatee, but we just have to normal summon our Kakapakapu, punch through for lethal. So there we go, we've actually gone now 2-2 with our win-loss ratio, so not bad, and we are able to actually pull off the OTK in the previous game, so can we do it now against Yugioh Sunga Kazajin Raijin Gate Guardian? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and climb up into a Coral Dragon. We can deal with the Labyrinth Heavy Tank. We can then bring out another Malicious, and then set a card to activate Ultimate Zolkin, bringing out a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then we can Synchro on up. They hit us with the Prey of the Jurai Gumo. In either case, we use the Jet Synchron to get our Carbonet into the graveyard. We can then use Stardust Charge Ward to draw an extra little bit, get Synchron Resonator out, and then we can go up, Revolution Synchron, go up into the Ancient Fairy Dragon, climb up into the Baron de Fleur, popping that trap monster, and then special summoning a Labradorite Dragon just so that way we can deck then a little bit and not have to worry about it. On the Crackback, they are going to go ahead and go up into the Gate Guardians combined, dealing with my Baron de Fleur, unfortunately, and then they can use their double attack to deal with my Crystal Wing. So they've dealt with both of my forms of interaction, which is kind of unfortunate. I draw an Ash Blossom for turn, not great, and then I lose my Ultimate Zolkin, which is unfortunate because I was going to set that Fossil Dig to trigger off its effect once again. So we just kind of decked in a little bit using my Soul Eating Overraptor to grab another, but unfortunately I only have one Baron de Fleur, which is not great. I do Ash at least the double attack, so that way they can limit their plays, but then they summon the Dark Guardian onto the field, clear out my board, and I draw a Soupe for turn. And that's going to do it. Honestly, the cards are cool. It is very much, though, falls into the category of legacy support good. In a vacuum, or not in a vacuum, in like a more broader meta sense, there's a lot of interruption. Obviously, both of the Synchro climbing ability can definitely be Ash. Granted, it doesn't cost you the normal summon, but that is still a cap on it. And then obviously, as cool as the Earthbound Immortals are, and just bringing the Nazca lines to life, it's not strong enough. In terms, especially in a modern game where everything's, okay, blah, 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 full power. Be cool if I could do this in Edison format, but alas, you can't. In either case, I'll keep on revisiting, maybe try to find a shelf for where Dawnwalker and Dustwalker can actually find their own niche. And who knows, if I ever do cosplay as Dawnwalker, would you guys want to see like a video of me making the actual cosplay? That would be pretty cool. Eventually I may go down the line of doing that, but that's dependent on the interest level if you guys want to see that. In either case, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time, I will see you all in the next video.